Well, good afternoon and welcome to British Curling and the latest draw in the British Curling Mixed Doubles Elite Finals here from the National Curling Academy in Stirling. You're very welcome. We've got a prime match. This is draw. We are now down to draw 18, and the stream match here this afternoon features, if I get it right, let's have a look. See, we are showing Kirsten Bousie and Blair Haswell against Maggie Wilson and Robin Brydone. And you can just see Robin Stone just coming down towards the house now. We've got obviously 3 other games going on as well, so let me just give you the full lineup of all the matches that are going on, and what we'll do is between ends we'll come in and we'll update on the scores and give you any other relevant information. I'll do an update on the tables after the first end, who sits where, but the 4 games going on at this moment in time. On sheet A, and Grant Hardy, who are certainly joint top of their pool at the moment, I know that, without even looking at the table, and they're playing Faye Henderson and James Craik, one of the younger pairings, but they've had a good run in the competition so far. So, Wright Hardy against Henderson Craik on sheet A. The feature match is sheet B, as we've described. Bousie Haswell against Wilson Brydone. Then on sheet C, we've got Holly Wilkie Milne playing with Duncan McFadden, and they're playing Millie Smith and Michael Goodfellow. So, another good match to keep tabs on, and we'll bring you up to speed with that game as it goes on. And the last game on sheet D, we've got Beth Farmer and Mark Watt are playing Gina Aitken and Ross Patterson. So those are our 4 games. We're up and running, we're well into the first end now, so let's leave you wearing the mics. We've got Robin Brydone and Blair Haswell on the mics. They've promised to be on good behaviour, but let's hope what they do is give us some interesting insight into the strategy of this mixed doubles match that we'll enjoy for the next couple of hours. So over to Blair and Robin.
Line only! On the top one, just on the top one then. You're not making the back one.
Sit out. Sit out. Guard. Keep guarding and then you'll have the pin. Something like that. Even if we're like a rock and a half on each side of the yellow. Give a fair that. Oh no, sit down. Oh, on its own, on its own. No. No. Sit down.
Some heavyweight on here.
Fine. Come on there. Good stuff. I suppose you may have a run there for 3. You've been making those all week, so. Relax now. Should touch that one that they've just thrown. Oh.
Stuffs.
I think a sliver high. Try and keep that red.
Back one, or just like back there.
Stuffs up. Stuffs in the one I just played. She just, he's probably going to roll an inch.
Oh. Yes! Yes! On! On! Whoa! That's a shot.
Yeah.
There it goes. Threw it nice for a change as well. I guess we. You've got access to that yellow there.
Same ice I just took, it's pretty good.
We need it.
Do you think you're like 6 feet further?
Yeah. It'll come down without a brush on it, so. Same ice as me. Wave's nice.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You need to give me T line. I'll just sweep it and we can bump that here.
Good. Nice work. It's close. Going by this pin position is probably then.
Sliver left. Something like that. Line turn runs quite straight. Okay.
One red.
Aye. Aye.
One to you. Yellow at the back.
Okay. No enough ice, eh? Aye, my intern's going quite straight somehow. So. Top 4. Blair, come on. Come. Sit down. Got that.
I think you're there. You're line only. Line only, you're back 4.
Right there.
So the first end obviously completed. We're into the second end there. We saw that there was a 1 to red. To Bousie and Haswell taken.
It's only slower if you're
first
like
end.
out in tilted line.
Just
but
update on the other,
really
other games and a quick update
line
on the table. So in sheet C, the match between Smith, Goodfellow and Wilkie Milne McFadden.
That's fine.
Smith and Goodfellow took a 2 at the first. They had the hammer. So 2 to yellow at that point. Just to give you an update of where those three teams are in the table. They're in their pool. We're in Pool B this afternoon. This draw, Smith and Goodfellow sitting in 7th place in the pool with a win-loss record before this match of 2 wins, 4 losses, and that's matched by Wilkie Milne McFadden, also 2 wins and 4 losses. They're down in 9th place on DSC average at the moment. Smith and Goodfellow have got a very good DSC average of 8.7. In fact, that is the best DSC average, draw shot average, of all the pairs taking part in this competition so far. At 8.7 centimetres averaging per draw shot. Very impressive, but they are in 7th place in the pool, and realistically with teams like Wright Hardy on sheet A sitting on a win-loss record of played 7, won 6, lost 1, it's looking beyond the realms of possibility for either Smith or Goodfellow, Wilkie Milne or McFadden to qualify for the latter stages of this competition. That doesn't stop it being a really important game, but it's 2 up to Smith Goodfellow.
Much closer than making the
over on sheet A, I mentioned Vicky Wright and Grant Hardy. Well, they've taken a 1. They've stolen a 1 actually against Henderson and Craik in the first end. Vicky and Grant sitting in 2nd place on draw shot average in the pool. Same win-loss record as Eve Muirhead and Bobby Lamb, who aren't playing this draw. So Vicky and Grant in a very strong position to secure a place in the top 3, which will get them through to the next phase of this competition on Tuesday. Looking very good with this game and 1 more to go. So they're coming to the end of their pool phase.
Lying, Leonard.
On D. Let's see what happened over
Line's
there.
good, line's good.
The pairing between Beth Farmer and Mark Watt.
Hey,
2 at the first, they had the hammer. They took a 2 there, so they're 2 up. Where are they sitting on the table? They've had a good run so far. Beth Farmer and Mark Watt, they're sitting in 4th place. They've only played 6 games before this one, so they're 1 game behind, say, Wilson, Brydone, Wright Hardy. They're on 3 and 3. Played 1-3, lost 3. So a win here against Aitken Patterson would certainly boost their chances of making that top 3 and the playoff phases of this competition. Aitken Patterson, meanwhile, played 6, won 2, lost 4, so only 1 game difference between them, but that means they're down in 8th place in the pool rather than Farmer and Watt being in 4th place. So you can see how close things are, even having played 6, 7 draws per team thus far. We'll focus back on this match that we're streaming for you. Robin Brydone just played his stone there, and we'll take you back to Robin and Blair Haswell, who are on the mics.
That means Robin's got 1 more.
Or do we go ultra defensive? Do we ever go ultra defensive and top them? No, then it opens up. No, actually, no. Score. Same ice. Plenty off. Yeah. That's almost under Carl. Plus, was this alright line?
They're just guarded. And they're just playing 1. Like, whether we just draw 1 in now.
Whoa! Let it work! Let it work!
They play the big bump.
Right off it. And Carl now, hard. Oh, jeez. Hard! Hard, Justin! Hard! Keep going! Keep going! Keep going! Whoa!
Oh, that's not great.
Just line this up. Middle.
I was more positive in that than the draw.
What number is that?
Here more.
No, I think it's just my fault that he should have called. That's just easy, it's a bit fresh.
Wait's good.
On the yellow. Marcus. Oh, no. Right there. Right there. Because they're going to try and draw here and cut us down to 1. Might as well go here. Shorts, obviously no disaster here, but 13.6 is going his there. About 14.5, 14.7. Okay, unlucky. Good line.
No,
That's not there.
it's not there. Yo, it's never going anywhere, it's just going here.
Unlucky.
Well, then you bet easy to start drawing it, you know? Like, if you want it to score, you have to come off this. You get just here.
Just in the fresh stuff, I think. Out on the that's on the draw path, that's pretty good.
Three feet off what you gave me.
Take that. We've just pummeled that line as well, so it'll be quick. Sweep. Big steal. No, aye. Happy with her?
I trust you.
Eh?
I trust you.
Cheers. Yeah, 16. Feels it. Get more positive, eh? Sit down. Sit. That's 3 times in a row, didn't that?
Top button.
Oh. Sorry.
So we saw there
Good throw. My bad.
Bousie and Haswell taking 2 at the
I'll follow you.
stealing 2 at the second end there, so they've taken
I'll never go to the
an
end.
early 3-0 lead against Wilson and Brydone. Of course, it's Wilson and Brydone that are sitting
I just overswept.
3rd in the table at the moment, so they'll be the ones that are anxious for the win to keep their championship hopes alive. Bousie Haswell not had the same good fortune. They're sitting on. They played 7. They've won 2 games. Learning experience from this competition, but they've made a very strong start here. 3 up. As we look across the other sheets for you,
Carl.
Wilkie Milne and McFadden playing Smith and Goodfellow. They were forced to take 1. Wilkie Milne with a nice draw to take the 1. So they are 2-1 down. Smith and Goodfellow leading 2-1 after 2 ends. Aitken and Patterson, Gina and Ross have evened things up over on sheet D against Beth Farmer and Mark Watt. So it's 2 apiece now after 2 ends, just starting the 3rd end. And looking across to sheet A, which was running just a couple of minutes behind. We've just concluded the 2nd end there, and if I get this one right, it's Vicky Wright and Grant Hardy have stolen a 2nd shot at the 2nd end, so they lead 2-0 after 2 against Faye Henderson and James Craig. That's you up to date. If you've got any questions that you'd like answered, put them in the chat function on the stream box on YouTube. We can then pick up and answer those questions. Be delighted to do so. Want to answer as many questions as we can if you've got things you'd like to know. If you want to see the pool standings, let me refer you to probably the best bet is British Curling's Facebook page or our Twitter feed. Those pool standings are being put out there regularly, updated after each draw, so they're there. And of course, if you want line scores quicker than I can report them, I suggest you go to our colleagues at Curling Zone, because they're on the case, courtesy of our Olympic head coach Dave Murdoch, who might get the scores up quicker than I do because he forces answers from players before scores go up on the boards at the far end of the sheet. So that's how you can stay abreast of everything. In the meantime, let's focus back on this 3rd end between Kirsten Bousie. I've lost track of what I was actually saying. That's not very good. Kirsten Bousie and Blair Haswell, and Maggie Wilson and Robin Brydone. How to lose track mid-sentence. Here we go. Let's hand back to the players.
Send rockets quicker and slower than that.
Oh, Maggie. No.
Send rockets slower than that.
No.
If I can ever bump this a smidgen, just bump it to here, try and get a shot. Give them something, maybe they blast, and then, oh no, there's not much to blast to be fair. Yeah, forces here is huge, I think. Then we'll remember our power play in 6. Same ice, couple inches less. Here, where's Hank? Carl! Hard! Hard, Costin! Hard! Quick! Fine.
way through there.
Gives us something for the force, I suppose. Ah, 2 inches more, Carl. Oh,
That's gone. This sticks up here.
and using these pins as
I'm
reference.
sitting here. Or you're just trying to straight draw into here, but then they're just driving this in.
I prefer that actually.
But then they're just driving it, like, they're literally in our high side on it.
This is a bargain tune back in the day.
This gives us a chance for a bigger end.
I get that.
Like this is spinning up and out here.
Only doing line one.
I reckon,
They throw a guard down.
I don't even know. If they go in, they draw
We're
around
not really sitting that nice.
top of their 6, I reckon you throw peel at our red.
Well, like, even if I throw guard and they just touch this, we're not scoring. We're only scoring one. I'm not a big fan of that call. Well, then I think that's the shot then. Then we're only still line 1. It's the same as just doing this. I think if you're throwing guard, you got to make it really good.
No, I don't like the guard. That's the shot I like. Just think about it. If you want to play the...
But then we're still on the line 1,
Yeah.
and we still have too much round here to get rid of anything.
Come dance with me.
Do you think that's there?
No, not wrong. Take that time here.
I think it's there. Like if you scrape the guard, you're close to being here. Yeah. Middle 8.
You're next, aren't you?
Here more.
You're next.
Here more. It'll be a bit softer.
Slide that way too early.
Weight's good.
We're far away. Yeah. Robin's got a sweep on him. Oh no. I just need help. Go there, force. Throw that like 12. Spin it to here. Then we should be lying. Nose are here inside. 12. A hack. Even back line. Oh no, hack. Actually, just get the yellow moving a lot. Something like that, aye. 11-5. Heavy. Yep. Heavy. Good out. Right now, really moment he's going to cut. It's going to take a lot to move that red anyway. Especially the angle you're going to hit it at.
Throw it away.
Go on, you know you want to. Throw it for 5. Cheers, Jeff.
So Wilson and Brydone sitting one, but looking for more than one with this last stone of Maggie Wilson's. You've seen they had a close look to see what are the options, and if there's anything they can do there to move anything, and I think the answer probably is no. So they're settling for the one. So that's one yellow. That means we're 3-1 after 3 ends, with there Haswell, Kirsten Bousie in the lead against Maggie Wilson and Robin Brydone. Elsewhere, the game on sheet C is the one that's racing ahead in this mixed doubles format. We do get through the ends pretty quickly, don't we? And
Cheers, big dog.
going on there.
Come down and make myself look like I'm doing something.
Well, they haven't put the score up, unhelpfully.
Are we?
So we'll come back to you on that one. I'm pretty certain.
I'm glad I didn't get it wrong this time.
Smith and Goodfellow took. They took a 1 or a 2. But I'm afraid my memory's failing me. I did actually watch it, and I should have made a note, and I didn't. It was a couple of minutes ago. They're well into the fourth end now.
Right, I'm not going to oversweep this in this time.
So we'll come back to you shortly once we've got the scores up in all the other games.
$15-2 in this one. Freeze that on the in. Say the in, just so it's a better angle to hit it. Ten. Right. Oh, back 8.
So, scores are on the board, so I can quickly update. Sheet A, a 2 for Wright and Hardy in the third end, puts them 4-0 up against Henderson and Craik. I was right, it was a 1 to Smith and Goodfellow at the third end, so they lead 3-1 on sheet C. And on sheet B, the match between Gina Aitken, Ross Patterson and Beth Farmer and Mark Watt. Gina and Ross stole a 1 at the third end, so they're 3-2 up after 3. So I think that's up to date on all the scores. Hope you're enjoying this game. We'll go back to Robin and Blair. But as I said, in the meantime, if there's any particular questions you'd like answered, put that in the chat function of the YouTube software that you're watching on. Hope you're enjoying the commentary from Robin and Blair, and certainly some of the insight that they're able to share as they come to their decisions with their respective partners. Back to the players.
No. Piece yellow.
Oh, no, that way. Intern freeze, eh? Nearly fails, I did batter it. Whoa! That's a rocket. Whoa! Let it work. Set. Please. Right on the nose of that. Yeah. I feel myself going like this when I was letting go of it. Line only. Still line only. 46, same line as mine was.
Out turn. What did I give you on this one? Line. Oh, line's good! Line's good! Hard! Hard! Hard, Costin! Hard! Big drag, big drag. Curl a wee bit, but no. No. Oh, it's such a good line as well. It's open for a run, though. I spot a wee angle run. Sorry, that wasn't great. We've got so much time. Line only. Back 4. Back 8. Uh-oh. 13-9. Throw that 7 in. Probably do something like this. Even touching the 5 on the way through isn't a disaster. Yep. Throw peel. Yeah. I'm not sure what I'll do at 9. And then I'll at least get some stuff moving if I do hit it thin. Like, it looks 7/8, 3/4 to me. Uh-oh. Hard. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Yep! Whoa, 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 whoa! Call an inch. Small bump. In turn. Wish I could throw like that in the men's game. Just? I said in turn. No. No, did he? If you're out turn, you sit there, they got hit, and that's away. For 3. In turn. Might have something for a bundle, maybe.
T-weight. T-weight right on the nose.
Confidence is key.
T-weight right on the nose. Yeah.
Probably hit that hair too thin now. That's true. I think so. 15-8, yeah, it's good. Oh, it's a big sweep to be fair. By the way, if we get by that, even though you hit this stick, should work. Unless. Nah. Thought you might have that pick for a bundle, but nah. Just take this. Take it to a run here, I'll be honest. $22? Nah, it's okay. Unlucky. 1. Unlucky. Other way around. Oh, Christ.
So you saw there, one red at the end of that, although Blair was contemplating other options, wasn't he? He was talking about a pitch
I think
for
your
a
4 might be
handful,
quicker than your
but,
6.
just I think tried to draw
Should I
something
go 6
in,
first?
but just came up short from Kirsten. So one red leaves them sitting 4-1 up against Maggie Wilson and Robin Brydone. You might have heard a little bit of the emotion of the game, slightly off mic or off camera anyway, but Robin certainly using his brush to express an element of frustration halfway through that end.
Well.
Meanwhile, on sheet C, we've had a 3 stolen by Smith and Goodfellow, so they're racing through this game. They're now 6-1 up against Holly Wilkie Milne and Duncan McFadden. As we've said, that match probably a dead rubber in the context of the overall competition, but there's quite a lot of honour at stake yet, and looking for positions higher up the overall ranking. So Smith and Goodfellow looking good at this moment in time. The other 2 sheets have yet to put their scores up. Their ends have just come to a conclusion, so I'll just sit tight and bring you up to speed once we've got the scores on the board.
6 is definitely score.
In fact, before I do that,
I've got 12.
we've got one of them up, so
That's
that's
the whole way, and it's just finished back 4.
Henderson, Faye Henderson and James Craig have taken a 1 at the 4th end against Vicky Wright and Grant Hardy, so they are 4-1 down in the 5th end. And Dave Murdoch, you're standing just where you shouldn't be standing. You're covering up the score that you've just put up, and he's moved nicely, so it shows that in the 4th end Gina Aitken and Ross Patterson stole a 1, so they're now 4-2 up in their match against Beth Farmer and Mark Watt.
Keep going.
So
Keep going,
still
keep
early
going.
days in most of these games. We're into the 5th end of 8. Of course, this competition follows a teams competition that we held here last week, so these players have all been involved now. Well, we're probably into coming up to our 2nd week solid of curling. Had a couple of days off in between, but double round robin teams competition, 5 teams, 5 men's teams, 5 women's teams, and now 20 pairings in this mixed doubles event in 2 pools of 10, reflecting the kind of structure that whoever gets to represent Scotland at the World Championships will experience at the Mixed Doubles World Championships. Of course, we've got one team competing this week who are already qualified for that Mixed Doubles World Championships. That's Anna and Ben Fowler. They'll be representing England at that World Championships. They've been selected to represent England, and we're delighted they could join us this week. And we've also got another guest pairing in Jane Sterling and Fraser Kingan, successful mixed doubles pairing. They've managed to actually credit Fraser and Jane. They've managed to compete internationally and abroad this season, which is a rarity for most curlers, isn't it? They competed, I think it was in Estonia, in a mixed doubles competition right at the start of the season, I think about September, and had a good run all the way to the final there. I believe they came out second best in the final, but a very good run at that competition. So delighted that Fraser and Jane have been able to join us this week. And as I say that, on sheet C, I've just watched Holly Wilkie Milne draw a 3rd stone into the house to take a 3 for her and Duncan McFadden, so that puts them 6-4 down after 5 ends.
That's helping us. So I think we do this.
So I think that's up to speed with all the matches at the moment. We'll let you go back to enjoy the commentary and the observations and thought processes of Robin Brydone and Blair Haswell, together with their partners Maggie Wilson and Kirsten Bousie.
Make that. This comes back here.
Okay, that's fine. Line a sliver. Whoa, call. Needs to call a long way. Hard! Hard, Custom, hard! Get on the center line, hard! Keep going. Ah, no. That calls that much more. He's no got this. You still got this slash though. Bousie's good. Over the top. There. Right there. Even if we're on the pin, that's fine. Oh, maybe no, actually. Just second and no more. Yeah, just beside the yellow. It's top 4.
Yeah. Spring Surprise is not ideal, but
Yes, you're not. This is a good stone. Just a god! Oh. Carl.
she's going to get away with this. Sit. Please sit. Struck like that. Okay.
Okay.
Good hack. 11's good. 11.
11
at edge or 4.
Sorry, I missed the time. Probably should have called it at the end, try and make us at least a bit harder.
It'll finish for you.
Aye.
Half stone's good at half. Thick half.
It's a good light, to be fair. Farm. Fucking time. Oh.
Serious, man.
One yellow. Yeah. Power play. Out turn? Yeah. We're better at sweeping on the out turn. That's a little. Can we take a power play? Other way. Happy with there? Happy? Yeah.
So you saw how close that one was, but just catching the first yellow meant that that ended up only as a 1 for Wilson and Brydone. You probably saw some of the frustration from Robin. I think they were trying to take more than 1 at that point. However, that means the score is 4-2 after 5 ends, and Haswell and Bousie have called the power play as a result of that. So we're in the 6th end, and the power play is being called. So we'll watch this one with interest. Chance for them to extend that lead in the power play. That's what they'll be hoping for, and optimistic that they'll be able to achieve. None of the other games have finished their 5th end yet, so we're fairly racing ahead in this one. So I will leave you to the players for the time being and come back shortly once the other games have finished their ends and we can update on the scores.
To the barrier. So close, unlucky. A bit there, right? I'm happy with that. Can you see the... there's nothing there. I'd say it there. If we rolled to here, that'd be close, so close, just that much less. Probably would have been even more demoralising if it went straight by.
Wait, good. T-line. T-line.
Run. Yes, come on. Carl. We can hit, can't we? Run the guard. Feel the guards. Yeah. Feel the guards. We miss the back one. They are probably freezing us. Whoever, in fact, no, let's hit the yellow. And then they make it top 4, then it's an easier run. 11, try and roll away. Yep. Oh, gotta go hard. Hard! Jesus. Keep going. Any roll. That's bad. That is so bad. How you get back into training in those interns? Jesus. Try again. Or is the rip ever a disaster yet? Right, okay. Let's do that. See, I was up there. Yeah. Just hair up. Bit up. Right. I'll go the same again, and I'll go for the back one. Touch the top one again, it's no disaster. Oh, I'm a lot heavier this time. No, I'm not either. Yeah, he did. Line! Hard! Hard! Those two ducks. Oh, touch it. Roll the red. Hard. Sorry.
Yeah, it's got to be now, because that's in.
I'm either turning those or those two stones.
Just jumping in to update on a couple of scores on the sheets we're not looking at on the stream. So Vicky Wright and Grant Hardy took a 2 at the fifth end, which puts them 6-1 up against Faye Henderson and James Craik. Henderson and Craik have called the power play in the sixth end. They need something significant to happen, I guess, if they're going to turn that game around. So 6-1 down they are at the moment. The other score that's changed since we were last with you is that on sheet D, Beth Farmer and Mark Watt took a 1 at the fifth end, so they are 4-3 down in the sixth against Gina Aitken and Ross Patterson. We've got lots of stones in the head in the match on sheet C between Smith Goodfellow and Wilkie Milne Fadian, but it's the far end from me, so I can't see that much detail, so I'll come back to you once we've got an outcome from that end. There's 2 stones left. Meantime, let's focus on Blair Haswell's next shot, just coming up.
Yeah. Freeze. Oh well, a dangerous freeze. He's blast. Clean. Yep. Whoa! Whoa! Call! On call! On! That's okay. Kind of freeze something less.
I think you're here.
Fine. Aye. Came out with intention of being heavy just in case. It was an absolute disaster. We rolled that to like back 8 so they could freeze to be shot.
Speed's fine here.
Total this is what watch too. I kinda wanna go. It's a long way to go. And he's no speed.
No, of course.
Hit the paint. Like, draw line. Cool. Yeah. Three that. Yeah.
Never done that before.
So the power play called and paid off with a 3 there for Bousie Haswell as a combination. So they are now, what's that, 7-2 up against Wilson and Brydone, and not surprisingly they've called the power play in the 7th end here as well. They need something fairly significant now. As I say, 7-2 down, so we'll see how that progresses. Have any other scores gone up on the doors whilst we've been watching that one? Yes, in the sheet match between Millie Smith and Michael Goodfellow and Holly Wilkie Milne and Duncan McFadden, Smith and Goodfellow have taken a 3 at the 6th end. Don't think I've reported that one, so that's 9-4. They lead at the moment in the 7th end. 9-4 to Smith and Goodfellow. Back to the players.
I don't think I did.
Looked like the timekeeper being called into action there to help determine whether or not that red stone had hit the side of the sheet.
Great shot.
Determined that it wasn't. We are of course timing all these games.
Bring it in.
22 minutes each pair gets.
I think I did. I think I did.
With one timeout each per game, unless we go to an extra end where they get more time and an extra timeout. So that's just to keep the pressure on the players. It's as would happen at a World Championships or the Scottish Championships. And we've had some games coming down to the wire where we've had seconds left before the last stone's played in the 8th end. So this morning we had both teams down to, if we weren't in single figures, we were in the teens of seconds left. So it does keep people, keeps things moving on, and means that decisions have to be made quickly at key moments. Just puts a bit of extra pressure on.
I don't know. The defensive in me saying put it through. They can't hit you. Top 4. Yep. Oh, gotta go. Oh, what man? Hard. Get in the feet. Oh my god, I'm so bad. I'm so bad. That dastardly intern. Run that 3 into the back, see what happens. Get rid of that centre. That's going to kill us.
We need to split it at some point, but we couldn't split it with that one because then he's just a simple double.
Run the red into the or the yellow. Run the red.
Well, if he misses this completely, then you're just round again.
Oh, we do.
So now it opens up to 4. If you go over here, they open one and you're only getting 3.
Run the yellow. See what happens.
I can't see him missing this. He can be anywhere high. He can literally be anywhere high and he's good. Just single feeling it.
Yes! Oh! Oh! Yes! On! On that yellow.
I'm thinking here.
Good call.
Should be close.
this kind of thing. Touch that on the way by, it's no disaster. In turn low. Instead of them high, I'm always going to touch it. Yeah. Give them 2 here. 3 up with the last. It's not a bad place to be. Might even make a double there. Yeah, okay, I like that. Whoa! I'm way by it. Oh, no. Hard! Call. Punch it.
Yeah.
How far was it, bud? How close was it, that yellow?
So I have the benefit of watching through a window at the live game, and what I was able to see, which the stream didn't quite pick up, was the body language from Blair Haswell at the end of that shot, as he contorted himself on the ice, looking for both yellows to disappear, but not quite. But he went through every bit of agony with his whole body in the hopes of trying to force that to happen. Unsuccessful, but not by much. A good attempt. Just updating you on a couple of other scores. Our closest match of the day is on sheet D, where Beth Farmer and Mark Watt have tied things up at 4 apiece in the 6th end. They stole in the 6th a 1, so it's 4 to them and 4 also to Gina Aitken and Ross Patterson. So we're into the 7th end there. We've got power plays going on all over the hall, and sure enough, that's a power play being called by Gina and Ross to give them, and now indeed, a timeout over on that sheet, so we'll keep an eye on that one as it progresses. I talked about Faye Henderson and James Craik. They called a power play in the 6th end. They were looking for a big number to get themselves back into the match. Well, they took a 2 with that power play, so they're 3-6 down in the 7th end. Vicky Wright and Grant Hardy having hammer in that 7th end. So still some work to do for Craik and Henderson. Smith and Goodfellow against Wilkie Milne and McFadden is well into the 7th end. Looks like it's sitting 2 or 3 shots to Wilkie Milne McFadden at the moment. In a power play, tucked nicely behind a guard as well. So we'll see what Millie Smith can do here. Looks like Millie's the last stone for Smith and Goodfellow. So we'll just stay with this commentary for a minute, let you know what happens there. Meanwhile, here comes Maggie Wilson's last stone of this 7th end in the commentary game. This will be to take a 2 at this 7th end, and indeed very nicely done. So that's 2 to Wilson and Brydone at that 7th end. That leaves them 7-4 down, going into the 8th end, so 3 down without the hammer in the 8th. Watching that one, I missed Millie Smith's shot next door, but the upshot of it is that it's now sitting. Looks like it's 1 red, so one stone counting for Wilkie Milne and McFadden. So Millie's cut that down nicely. She's got some protection on a yellow stone sitting in the house as well. So it looks to me as though Holly Wilkie Milne's just going to draw for a 2 at this point. Draw to the 8th foot and a 2. stones on its way. If she gets this 2, that'll put them 9-6 down into the 8th end.
Yeah, he's just being soft.
Keep working that stone to make sure she gets it there, and she has. She swept that. She's gone pretty red in the face after that sweeping, but good for her. So 2 to Wilkie-Mill McFadden, 9-6 down. Let's go back to this commentary match as Kirsten Bousie plays her first stone of the end.
I'm sorry, Kirsten, I'm so bad at calling weight. Sorry. Sorry, that was... I didn't think it was that up though. I forgot you said that till the hog line. I was like, oh no. Huh? What's this? Oh yeah, sliver high. In the end, I'll throw the out.
Steel's
I'll
there.
throw the out. Shade low. Step hard. Hard! Clean, fine.
Alan! Right, they come down on top. I hope that if he goes for this, he stuffs them all on. Or you throw the guard again, then they come on top and then we're... You gotta be straight on the nose. Almost a hair under, but I think straight on nose is there. Actually, hair on this we can't play straight back. So if we're this side or nose, you can kind of get them all dragging off. I think so. Just gotta hope. I think you gotta go here. Well, if we throw guard, and we've got left 2 stones left. We throw guard and he peels. We almost want him to come around to give us something. Because if he does this,
Yeah, then we've got to be pocket.
I think you're guard.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the shot, skipper? Rip, double rip. Or do we go? Nah, we go double rip. Double rip. Yeah. And make the double rip, might get some action on the inside yellow as well. Yeah. That's it. Oh, it's that time. Out turn, end turn, sorry. Try to get as much action as we can. No, 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 no.
Well, he's got to be in.
Cheers.
It's got to be in. It's got to be in the rings.
Nice.
I think we're throwing wing.
Any have they got now? They can only draw us now.
No, Maggie. It's got to be at the wing. Draw the wing.
As long as I don't play.
More, we can just be anywhere over there.
Just throw that same 9 on the out turn.
Brydone looks to draw the wing, as he described it. The match on sheet C has come to an end with Wilkie Milne and McFadden running out of stones in the 8th end. So that'll be recorded as a 9-6. Yes, 9-6 victory to Smith and Goodfellow. So that wraps that one up. But all the other games are going on, so we'll go back to this focus game for the time being.
Shouldn't do too much, I don't think. I'll throw it alright. Clean. Clean, 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 clean. Yep. Clean. Clean, 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 clean. Game, Robin. Game. Aye. Aye.
So that's the conclusion of our stream match there this afternoon. Again, running out of stones in the 8th end, so it's what's that? That's a 7-4 victory for Kirsten Bousie and Blair Haswell over Robin Brydone and Maggie Wilson. So good win for Kirsten and Blair. They'll be delighted with that one. Robin and Maggie, not quite so. That won't help their chances of qualifying for the top 3 positions in this pool and featuring in the latter stage of this competition. I think they'll still be in with a shout of it, though. We'll update the tables later on, so if you want to have a look at British Curling's Facebook or Twitter feed, that's probably the best place to catch the up-to-date tables once this draw is concluded, although our colleagues and friends at Curling Zone will also keep you up to speed if you've got that link. Elsewhere, we talked about the close match going on sheet D. Well, in the 7th end, with a power play, Aitken Patterson took 1, so they're 5-4 up in the 8th, facing a power play. So they're 1 up without the hammer. Power play being played by Beth Farmer and Mark Watt, so high percentage chance perhaps of that going at least to an extra end. Our in-house statistician, otherwise known as Greg Drummond, 60% chance of at least taking a 1 here for Farmer and Watt, something of that ilk, to force an extra end as a minimum. So let's watch and see. Sheet D, that's being played on. And meanwhile on sheet A, the match between Vicky Wright and Grant Hardy and Faye Henderson and James Craik is in the 8th end. We're at the business end of that 8th end. Looks to me like there's probably 3 stones left to be played. Henderson and Craik needing a significant score of 1, 2, 3, probably need 4, is it, I think, to force an extra end? I can't quite see because Vicky Wright's standing in way of the scoreboard. They need a big score anyway at this 8th end to force an extra end. So you can see now the camera has swung over to sheet A. So that's the match between Vicky Wright, Grant Hardy, Faye Henderson, James Craik. So you can see that looks to me like that's sitting 1 red at the moment. Red, of course, being Vicky and Grant. James Craik's yellow stone just on its way down now. Faye sweeping hard, as you can see. Okay, so that hasn't quite got there for shot. Maybe 3rd shot. Tight between that and the red. So Vicky Wright coming down to play her last stone of this 8th end. Vicky and Grant will just be wanting to make sure that they don't give a chance for a large score for Craik and Henderson. It's looking tough, I have to say. They're 7-3 down, Craik and Henderson, so they do, I was right, they do need a 4 for an extra end here. So this looks like a guard, I think, probably being played by Vicky. Maybe it's drawing another one into the house, we'll see. No, guarding. So, not sure Faye Henderson will have faced many challenging shots like this one in the past. She's got to try and turn that situation into a score of 4 for yellow. So answers on a postcard as to how you'd best achieve that one. She's going to have to move quite a lot of red stones. She goes. Okay, playing her last stone at his 8th end. And I think will, from this camera angle, that looked like 1 yellow to finish with, 1 to Henderson and Craik, so that'll be them finishing on 4, but no, I've got that the wrong way round. It was 1 red, in fact, so that's an 8-3 victory for Vicky Wright, Grant Hardy to wrap that one up. The last game of the session is still in play in the 8th end. Mark Watt about to play what will be his last stone. We'll just keep you up to speed with what happens at the end of this match. Camera just being swung right over to give you a bit of an insight into what's going on there. This is Mark's stone. You can see Beth Farmer just tracking the stone. Looks like we're sitting probably 1 yellow at the moment. Now, if anyone's eyesight's better than mine, you can work out how that is at the moment. 1 red, we're thinking at the moment. So of course the match situation here, Aitken Patterson are 1 up, playing the yellow stones. So if that's right and we're sitting 1 red at the moment, that would be the 1 shot that Farmer and Watt would need to take us into an extra end. Gina's last stone here. And we talked about the time being low. That was, she had 6 seconds left to play that stone. I can just see the time clock being turned round by the timekeeper for our information. 6 seconds left on the time clock, otherwise the game would have been over if she hadn't delivered the stone in that time. But she did, and looks like a nice draw sitting on the button, I would think, from best I can see. Which means Beth Farmer's got to do something about that. Got to take at least 1 here to force the extra end. Not sure how much of that you can see. You can probably see, I'm looking from behind the house now, you can probably see about, on the hack, maybe half the stone. Half the stone that's sitting shot at the moment. So chance for Beth to come down and tap that one through. Would that leave her sitting for 2 in the game? No, it's got a curl, it's got a curl, it's got a curl, it's coming now, it's coming late. Ooh. Well, we'll have to wait for the outcome of that. And it looks like that was 1 to yellow, 1 to red, I beg your pardon. So that means we have got an extra end. Tied up at 5 apiece. An extra end. We'll stay with it. We're conscious that it's not the best view. I'm sorry about that. We're having to swing the cameras over. Don't forget we're using cameras that are really built for analysis. They're not built for streaming, but we're able to use them for this strange purpose, different purpose during this strange season we're having. So we're into an extra end here. We'll stay with it. There's still 149 of you watching this, so hope you're enjoying it. This match, of course, we talked about it in terms of its significance in the table. We've just seen Maggie Wilson and Robin Brydone, who were on 3rd place in this pool on a 4-3 win-loss record. They've just lost, so they've gone to 4-4. Farmer Watt, playing this game in this extra end, were on 3-3 prior to this, so quite a significant game in terms of pool positions at this stage of the competition. Now, I'm joined by Greg Drummond here. Greg spent last season coaching Gina Aitken, of course, as part of a very successful mixed doubles pair. So you've watched Gina play a lot of mixed doubles, Greg. You'll have seen her play extra ends in the past, albeit with Scott Andrews probably more than Ross Patterson as a partner. How do you? What's the tactics in an extra end here to try and force the win?
Yeah, it's not really that different from a normal end, Nigel. Gina's just tried the tick there to open up the front. Ross can obviously peel the guards with all 3 of his middle rocks. They really just want to keep the front open and give Gina a shot with her last one. There is a red top of the button, which is accessible. It's not quite frozen on the yellow, which proves to be a little bit more difficult, but I would expect Ross to try a couple of single peels, potentially a run-in if there's an option, just to simplify Gina's last rock, really.
Building up to that one last stone, giving her a decent draw for
Yeah.
the win. Of course, Mark and Beth will have different plans, and we're trying to prevent that happening. So this is Mark's stone coming down now, just drawing this one in. Just coming up, just short of the other, that red stone that looks like it's probably sitting shot at the moment. So it looks as though Ross is going to play on those stones in the house, Greg.
Yep, that's exactly that, Nigel. Mark possibly just a little bit deep with that guard and had left an angle in Ross's favour here. If he hits a skinny half, chances are 3 rocks could be removed from the centre line. Looking a little bit high actually right now. Yeah, it needs to be a little bit thicker than that and hope that that middle red spun off the centre line. So now sort of the advantage has just
Swung back a little bit.
Swung back a little bit, you know, we're just a couple of guards away from leaving Gina a really, really tough shot to win the game.
Okay, thank you, Greg. Let's watch this one. I hope the view from the cameras can just pick it up. You can enjoy this one with us. So Mark will be happy if this guard's short of the rings.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just going to try and leave it in a position whereby Ross has to make a little bit of a decision actually. Do they make a play on the ones in the rings to try and secure a point, maybe even before Gina has to play her last, or do they just gamble and go for the run double again? It's a pretty good lead from Mark actually, so more than likely the double peel.
Looks like, yeah, that's exactly what they're calling. Whilst they're working this one out, Greg, it strikes me we've had a lot of extra end games in this tournament so far. Does that surprise you at all, or is that what you'd expect to see in mixed doubles?
Yeah, I mean, look, we've obviously got quite a high calibre of a field here. You know, the teams are all pretty good and they're well matched. So it doesn't surprise me that we've had quite a lot of games going down the wire. We've had a bunch of extra ends, but we've also had a bunch of tied 1-point games down the last. So yeah, it makes for good viewing.
Certainly does. It's been excellent. So you'd expect Mark to put that guard back on, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit surprising that Ross didn't try the double peel there. Mark will probably try and leave it in a similar spot, and then I think Ross and Gina have to have a conversation. It's maybe one too late to play the double peel. They need to think about getting position because they're really just one half shot away from almost not having a shot.
I don't think the mics will pick it up, but that's Mark shouting pretty hard, encouraging Beth to get the stone to curl, sweep to curl it as much as anything else. Greg, how do you rate that one? Slightly further in than the last one.
Yeah, it's just about 6 inches further in than the last one, but it's posed the question to Ross and Gina. They've called a timeout, so they're really going to think about playing the in off the red side of the 4-foot. Just to try and open up the scoring for Gina's last one. Right now it is favouring probably a steel end, but that can turn around pretty quick. I think it's just a case of how much weight do they throw at this rock. Do they throw a hack or do they throw a little bit more?
Okay, we will see. You might have heard somebody coming into the room saying, that's interesting, that's Christian Lindstrom. He's played a bit of mixed doubles in his time, but we missed the chance to grab him and find out what he was finding particularly interesting there, but we'll get it from him later. Christian is actually on time clock duty this game. I'm sure all our coaches are having to muck in to get us through this tournament with only limited bodies around at the National Curling Academy, so coaches acting as timekeepers, and Christian's on duty for this match. He's back in his seat now, of course, to make sure that job's done efficiently. Stone's on its way, though. So they didn't get the roll they were looking for there, Greg.
No, it actually looked like it was just a little bit too much weight, in all honesty. The broom was in a good position. You know, a hack weight there, we get an extra 6 inches of curl, and that yellow one rolls to the top of the button and potentially 6 shots, and really leaves Beth in an awkward position. But yeah, we're like I say, we're one good shot away here from Gina having a real tough one. Maybe not even a shot.
So you've got a timeout called by Mark and Beth at this moment in time. They're going to take that yellow away and just sit on the top of the button themselves?
Yeah, two thoughts here, Nigel. They looked at just playing the sort of back line hit and roll right in front of the red, which is probably the A1 shot.
Yep.
But they also looked at just halving the yellow on the high side, and leaving Gina the free draw, and hope that they have a draw to the post to win the game, or some sort of a tap. But I think, in all honesty, they'll play the back line hit and roll.
Yep. Let's wait and see. That's the time off of their timeout, but they've still got plenty of time going on the clock, so 1 minute 35 seconds, so they're fine for this last shot from Beth. Been a close game all the way through this one. Greg, I don't know, have you managed to watch some of this game? I think you've been able to pay a bit of attention to it. It's been close all the way?
Yeah, it was one of the closer ones, Nigel, so I just thought I'd pay a little bit closer attention to it. Ross and Gina had a really good chance in the 7th end on their power play to generate 2, and just a little bit long with the last draw. But bounced back pretty strong and forced a point on Beth and Mark's power play.
This is pretty wide at the moment. This is just putting a high guard on, I think, probably, to stop them coming in off that yellow.
Yeah, this was the one option we didn't talk about.
Yep.
Was just actually throw the guard and ask the question of Gina. A little bit of risk with this one, because it will potentially leave her an out. I think we're looking at a really tough out-turn draw to the button. Might even need to tap the red.
Well, she'll have been here a few times before playing mixed doubles, I'm sure. You'll have seen Gina facing shots like this, I'm sure, over time, Greg. So she's got the experience. Gina, of course, this season has been taking charge, really, of Team Aitken, playing third stones in a newly formed team, and having a very good season, actually. So she's left her specialist mixed doubles time behind her, but listen, the stone's on its way. Greg, I don't know if you can see, Mark and Beth might be in your way, actually, but Ross looks happy at the moment.
Yeah, they've sort of been on and off it the whole way. The line's okay.
Pretty tight, looking good, actually.
Calling for a bit of curl.
Just going to re-roll away. I don't want to call that one from here, and we're only about 15 feet away from it.
Yeah, it's a tough one to call, Nigel. I think that was the risk with Beth and Mark throwing the guard there. It always left Gina that outshot. They had the opportunity to take on the little hit and roll and arguably win the game. So this one might be going to measure.
Looks like it.
By the looks of it, Ross and Gina seem fairly
happy?
confident that
Yeah, I'd agree, they look
shot.
happy.
This is maybe more just in hope from Beth and Mark.
Oh, it's been conceded, I think. So, a win for Gina and Ross in an extra end there, and they take it in the extra end 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 against Beth Farmer and Mark Watt. That's all for now. We'll be back later on with another game starting at 3 o'clock, which is Sterling. It's the pairing Jane Sterling, Fraser Kingan against Rebecca Morrison and Hammy McMillan. So that'll be another cracker. Join us later on. We're due off at 3 o'clock. We look forward to seeing you then. Good afternoon.